the feminine side. The standpoint. Still listen to the feminine side. The standpoint.
Hello there and welcome to the Standpoint. Today we are devoting the program to malaria elimination. Yes, not control, elimination, because it is possible. You know, I am the National Malaria Elimination Campaign advocate. That's what I do. That's what we've been trying to do. Eliminate malaria from Ghana by the year 2030. It is possible. Malaria costs the nation so much resources and it's still killing in our nation, which is not good enough. Today we are going to look at elimination of malaria from Ghana, attaining zero malaria, levels or situation in our country. From the male perspective, the role men can play in making sure that we get away, we move away from this sad situation of malaria still killing children under 5 years, adults, and really costing the nation thousands and millions of dollars in this year 2023. It is possible. My name is Gifty. Auntie. Welcome to the Standpoint. Let me say thank you to the one and only Yex Yakua Fabrics for my tie and dye, my rich auntie vibes. Yes, by Brie Redua. Thank you so much to her. And when it comes to Ghana Health Service, green, right? Malaria, so we are looking at green. And then the red, minyapedi, yebe kuntuntum by heart. My beads by Trini Crafts. That's my bracelet, my anklet, my earrings by Trini Crafts. Thank you so much to them. And of course, my face bead by J. Claude Beauty. He is on Instagram. Follow him. My shoes by Awards Unisex Boutique. They are at Tesano, Jowulu, and East Legon. Everything leather for both male and female. You can get it there. So right there and get yours. We are talking malaria, and it's serious business. We'll be back.
The Standpoint. The Standpoint.
Welcome back to the Standpoint, and today we are devoting it to malaria elimination, the role of a man and a call to action. We've been talking about this. We used to control it, and now we say that it is possible. We can eliminate malaria from Ghana. So let's do it. And I have the right person here to give us the education and information and how to go about it. But before that, let me say thank you so much to Venap Mineral Water, who have been supporting us throughout this year, the beginning of this year till now, and we are so grateful to them. Venap Mineral Water, remember, has the balanced pH level. I mean, everything is correct. Minerals, the exact quantity and levels that you need. Sodium is low, and they also embark on various charitable projects, and they aim at sharing love and of course changing lives. Thank you so much. They also produce bigger drinks. Thank you to Juice Time, 100% fruit juices. Auntie Vera and the team, we are so grateful to you for always supporting 15 years of the Standpoint. You've been with us for almost 10 years, and we are so grateful to you. Thank you to Mrs. Oforipoku and the family. We are grateful to you. Yep Cleaning Services, always make sure that our environment is clean. We are also grateful to you as well. Now let me come to the studio and introduce my guest for today. Doc, let me wear my spectacles so that I can look like a doctor. Okay, so I have Dr. Paul Boateng, who's a malaria management focal person. Yes, and well, before Doc comes in, let me also say thank you to Pepsodent Charcoal, Pepsodent Herbal, and Cavity campaign. And the tagline is "Every smile matters." It's very true. Every smile matters, and you know that if you need to use the right toothpaste, it has to be Pepsodent. Geisha or Lasta and ending, cleanliness, and they also support us, and we are grateful to them as well. Now, Dr. Paul Boateng, welcome to the Standpoint.
Thank you very much.
Your name sounds very, like, the Paul Boateng, Oh, are you the one, or is it you?
I tell some ladies he's my uncle.
That's a good. We'll keep it at that.
He's your uncle. I can't lie to you.
That's a good one. So let me give the background to why we are doing this.
Okay.
Now it says malaria is one of the leading public health concerns in the country, and we all know the challenges it causes, and how we've been fighting with it. Now it's better, but for years we've really struggled with malaria, and we are aiming at ending it by the year before 2030. At first we said 2030, now they said 2028.
2028, we want to eliminate in 21 districts.
21 districts. Then, okay.
Yeah, so 21 districts that have very low burden of malaria currently.
Okay.
Yeah, by 2028. But as such, the end point, when we want to eliminate in Ghana altogether, we are here to set that timeline.
Okay.
Yes,
but is it possible? You think we can eliminate it?
Yeah. So I remember when I talked to a few doctors and clinicians, whenever you say we want to eliminate malaria, they laugh. But the confidence we have is because other countries have been able to do that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Yeah. So what is really our challenge? Because other countries have been able to do it.
Yeah.
And we've heard of situations where people travel to, like, is it Mauritius? And then they die from malaria because there's no, mosquitoes there, and so they don't have the treatment for it.
Yeah. So Mauritius is one of the countries that have eliminated malaria. There are a few other African countries like Morocco, Algeria, and a few others. Right. And the confidence we have is that the strategies that they used, the same interventions that they used, the same interventions we are using here.
Right.
But what we need to do is that we need to improve on the quality of the delivery and also improve on the coverage of the interventions. But these interventions have been found to be effective at helping to eliminate malaria from various countries. Yes. So because of that, and also because we have implemented these interventions for a while, it has helped us brought the burden of malaria over the years. It keeps going down. Right. And so that gives us the confidence that very soon we should be able to. What's
the current situation?
So currently, from the last survey last year, that's 2022, our prevalence is around 8.6% nationally. Nationally. And Greater Accra region has the lowest prevalence of 2%.
Okay.
Yes, and then Oti region has the highest prevalence of about 15%.
Wow.
Yes, so what it means is that if you randomly get about 100 people in the Greater Accra region and you test them for malaria parasites, only 2 out of the 100 will test positive for malaria. So we've come a long way from about 27.5% in 2021 to about 8.6%.
Right.
We've done quite a lot. Right. We also realized that in terms of deaths due to malaria, we've also come down a lot. As of last year, we're recording about 151 deaths due to malaria. And over the years, we're recording deaths in 2000s, about 10 years back. Right. But we've also been able to reduce that drastically over the years. So a few of these things, although we are recording about 5.4 confirmed cases of malaria in a year, but even with that, we think that the number is low because this is what we are getting from our formal healthcare system. It doesn't include what happens within the pharmacies and over-the-counter medication. But all this together, we believe that we are making progress.
And the unreported cases as well.
Yes.
Those who do not report and resort to using herbs and stuff like that. For a long time, the focus has been on women. Telling women, when you're pregnant, do this, your children that, and all that. But now we are also engaging the men. So today our discussion will focus on the role that the men can play. You know, normally men, you say you are macho, you don't show. When you are sick, you malaria, oh, Charlie, you go take some drink, but it's not working.
Yeah. One of the things we realized that males have very poor health-seeking behavior.
Yeah.
And so you realize that when the male, well, that's how come even males have shorter life expectancies compared to women, and sometimes we are tempted to blame
the women
for that. But it's just because we undertake riskier behaviors. We don't take preventive measures like sleeping on our bed nets or even wearing protective clothing and all that. We think that we are immune to some of these diseases, but it's not actually. And so some analysis we did not so long ago realized that we are having increasing cases in the men compared to the women, and that can be attributed to better healthcare seeking behavior and better uptake of preventive interventions in women compared to men. And
how is that going? Getting, you know, generally, I mean, as you rightly said, men's attitude towards health, towards their health, even when you come to even the prostate, that they know that they are the only one who gets it, Christ, they know. So, how, I mean, what is the strategy to get the men involved?
So it's something that we are beginning to focus on. Currently, what we do is that all our strategies are focused towards the entire population, both men and women. So all our educational drives, all our SBC activities, our social behavioral change activities, our videos, WhatsApp, social media messages have generally been targeted towards the general population. And sometimes we focus on those we call the vulnerable groups, that is children under 5 years, pregnant women, and then those who are considered not to be non-immune. So we are now actually, this is one of the forum where
when you say we do those non-immune, we are looking at the aged.
No, non-immune persons are people who are living in countries where malaria has been eliminated.
All right.
Because they haven't been exposed to malaria, they don't have that partial immunity. So when they come here, they are at risk of developing the severest form of malaria. And those also, if you are in a malaria endemic area and you move away for over 6 months to a non-endemic area and you come back, we consider you as non-immune. Yes. So a lot of our strategies have been focused on these, but now we are beginning to realize that we need to focus on men as well and bring them about, because they play a very important role if we are supposed to eliminate malaria from them. And I think that this is one of the forums where we can highlight the role of men and how they can support us to be able to eliminate malaria.
All right. Okay, let me take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the role of the men, what exactly they can do, you know, what they should look out for. Because I think it comes back to the general attitude of the general public, because when a child is sick, it's a mother that takes the child to the hospital, so the father is not there. When, you know, a child, again, the wife is sick or the child is sick, the man tells the boss that, oh, my child is good. You said, but where's the wife? Or if your wife is, but where's your mother? Or where's her mother? What's, you know, stuff like that. So men are made generally, you know, socialize to feel that when it comes to it, it's not their responsibility. It's a woman's job. It's a woman's job. While you're watching the standpoint, okay, let me say thank you to Yekwa Fabric, Yex, for my tie and dye, my rich anti-vice dress. It's by Bri Redra. Thank you so much to her. My beaded earrings, bracelet, and anklet by Trini Craft. Thank you so much again to them. My shoe is by Awos Unisex Boutique. They are at Tesano, Jowlu, and at East Legon. You know, call them everything, you know, leather. They've got shoes, bags, a belt, wallets. They do clothing as well. And of course, they are at the airport, you know, duty free. With those of you traveling outside the country, when you get there, you can get something last minute. If you haven't bought it from them already from town, you can go there and get it done. Thank you to J. Claude Beauty for my makeup. We'll be back.
The Standpoint. The Standpoint.
Welcome back to the Standpoint. Yes, we are looking at malaria elimination and the role of men, and I have with me Dr. Paul Boateng, who is the focal person when it comes to malaria elimination, and thankfully he's a man, so he's the right person to talk about this. And as you know, I told you I'm the National Malaria Elimination Program advocate, and I believe it possible. And so you and I, need to be committed to attaining zero malaria in Ghana as soon as possible. Now, Doc, have you had malaria before?
Oh, I don't think there's anyone in Ghana.
Oh, even you, the doctor. Since you became a doctor, have you had malaria?
Yes.
How was it? How did you feel, even as a doctor? Share your experience.
Well, the good thing was that I detected it early and treated it. I think that, as we said earlier, sometimes you think that you are immune to some of these things until it happens to you. So I think I was working in a rural district in Ghana, working around the clock. Okay. I was virtually like almost the only doctor in that facility. I had some physician assistants supporting me though. So I think that maybe I was too focused on the work, and usually at the health facility, usually in the evenings, you don't protect yourself enough. Sometimes you just go and do your work, probably in your shorts, you're called, you just wake up and go and do the surgery. So I think some multiple bites from there probably led to that. So basically it started with headache, fever, weakness. So basically those are the key things I experienced. Loss of appetite, just a little bit of that. Okay. Yeah, but I initially assumed it to be stress. And so I thought, okay, probably just some rest and some fluids would do. But after a day, I realized that it wasn't going. I just went to the facility to test for it, and it was positive, and then I took the treatment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Malaria is one of the most painful, sicknesses or ailment that can happen to you. Yeah. The joints, everything.
Yeah. But I remember an episode when I was way younger, and it doesn't leave my mind. I could still remember my mom carrying me on her back. They had sponged me. I was feeling hot and cold at the same time. I couldn't eat. I was shivering. I mean, she literally carried me at her back, ran to the station to pick a taxi to the hospital. I still remember that scene very well. And I think that some of us are very fortunate to be alive. Yeah. Because some of us nearly died from it. And that incident I really, really remember very well. So, but I think we made progress.
Yeah, but as a physician, did you have incident where you lost patients to malaria?
Yes, I don't think that, particularly when you're working in rural areas, I've lost quite a number of patients, mostly children under 5 years. Yes, and some of the reasons were mainly because they reported late. And I think when we share this, sometimes people in Accra don't appreciate. But I think even in Accra, recently there were even people who are even affluent. A few times I've had cases, even adults come in with very severe malaria, and they are surprised that malaria could really do this to them. Yeah, but back to my cases, the cases I lost, mainly children under 5 years living in rural areas. Distance from the health facility is quite a distance. Okay, they are farmers, earn very little, and so coming all the way from where they are to the district hospital is a major journey for them. The means of transport probably once a day or once in 2 days. And so spending money on medication and spending money on food, you want to prioritize and spend money on food instead of, and then when it's too late and you feel you can't do it, that's when you rush to the health facility. You do whatever you can, and people come with very low blood level, hemoglobin levels of sometimes 1 or 2 grams. It's very, very low. They almost look white. They are convulsing. Okay, they are unresponsive. It's terrible.
I know we are focusing on men, but let's remind people that how dangerous malaria is. Apart from the worst case of dying, what are some of the damage it can cause to, especially young ones and even adults?
Yes,
and pregnant women.
I think that sometimes we don't see malaria as danger, but it's very dangerous. And it can affect almost every organ in your body, all the vital organs. So name it, from the brain, okay? Can affect your brain. You can lose consciousness. You can go into coma, and you can die from that.
Due to malaria?
Yes, due to malaria. You can have convulsions. You can be confused. You ask you, what is this? You say something else. It can cause that. You can be very restless and agitated. Okay. It can also affect the lungs. You can have like difficulty breathing, okay, respiratory distress, what we call it, so you can't breathe well. Malaria can cause that. So basically, once it affects the blood and the blood moves across all parts of your body, it can affect almost all your organs. It can affect your kidneys and cause acute kidney injury and cause kidney failure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can it cause infertility?
Not necessarily.
What
no.
about birth defects?
So what malaria in pregnancy can cause a lot of complications for the mother and then for the baby. Not necessarily birth defects, but what it causes, it can cause miscarriage. Okay, it can cause you to have preterm labor and have a preterm baby, and you know the complications that come with preterm baby. It can cause you to bleed after pregnancy, what we call postpartum hemorrhage.
Right.
So these are some of the complications that can make you have a smaller than normal baby.
Right.
Okay, yes. And it can even cause the baby to die in the womb, even way before it's time for the child to be born. These are some of the complications of malaria when it happens in pregnancy that sometimes we lose sight of. So it's a quite a serious illness that we sometimes overlook.
Well, I think we've become very complacent when it comes to malaria. We think that, malaria, you had malaria, the other time, no, we can, malaria, they send there, they will say, we've taken it for granted that, malaria is part of, so it's normal for you to get malaria and, it will go.
Yeah. I think that is one of the things that we are trying to do to make sure that people don't get comfortable getting malaria. In fact, in some other parts of the world, if you get malaria, it's like getting COVID-19 for the first time. You'll be quarantined, yes. And it's one of the things that we are trying to do through advocacy and our communication efforts to make sure that we don't see malaria as normal. Because as I said, it can cause several complications that make you lose your life. And so it's something that and the other thing we also lose sight of is the amount of money we lose through malaria. Look at the numbers and the number of ACTs that are being procured. Okay, those not going to work. Okay, if you have malaria, you won't go to work for about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
You're going to lose that money. Your employer is also going to lose money. Okay. You spend money traveling to the hospital and coming back and all that. Those are things that we don't count, but they really, really affect us. Yeah.
Can malaria cause impotency?
Not so. No, not really.
That's the only one that can make the men take it serious. What are some of the damage it can cause to a man when it comes to sexual performance?
I think
that one will make them listen.
For that, no direct correlation. Will just be probably the malaise, general weakness, and all that. That would.
So when you are weak and broken, you can't perform.
Yes. I mean, you lose your libido for that short period, or you have reduced libido for that short period of time. Yeah, but you don't even have the energy to do anything. Yes.
Leben, are you listening? That one will make you listen. That one will make them. I'm sure when I ask them, they will be sitting there waiting to hear. So how are we going to get the men to be involved? What is the message to them to join in the elimination, campaign?
So our message to the men is that one, they should take their health seriously. It's important because even if they don't consider themselves, they should consider their partners and their children, because they have to be alive to be able to take care of their children. Okay, so we need them alive to take care of their children. If you leave now, you don't know who will take care of your kids. You don't know how they are going to grow up. So it's important that we take our health seriously, particularly for our families. And then also for ourselves, men are very particular about earning. And of course, you don't want to lose your earning power. And if malaria can cause you to be down for a day or two, I mean, and you're not gaining money and you're also losing money through other means. It's one of the things that we should be conscious of and make sure that it doesn't bring us down so that we lose our life and livelihoods.
So we have, various stages of malaria. We have the preventive, we have the treatment, and then the curing or the curative and all that. The preventive measures when it comes to we've talked about women sleeping under insecticide mosquito nets, making sure that babies sleep under insecticide mosquito nets. When it comes to malaria prevention, what is the role of men?
So men can play diverse roles. One, in terms of prevention, of course, men should also be able to adopt the preventive measures. Make sure they use the malaria preventive measures. So make sure that you sleep under insecticide treated nets. Okay, make sure that your housing is well netted. Okay, there are no holes in the net to allow the mosquitoes to come in. Make sure that your doors also have nets. Okay, even if you open the doors, you don't keep them open for a long time. You just shut them quickly after that. You make sure that we have other interventions like what we call indoor residual spraying. If you are living at a particular place where that indoor residual spraying is undertaken, indoor residual spraying is spraying the walls of houses so that when the mosquitoes land on it, they are killed and they don't get to bite you for you to get malaria. So if you are in a particular place where that intervention is being implemented, make sure that you allow.
Was it last year? I was at Obuasi.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
And I think the Anglo Gold Ashanti is one of the organizations that is spending much money in that area into that research. So they were having pilot projects in parts of Obuasi. Then that was last. I don't know how far they've come with that as well. And I hear there are other places where they do that as well.
Yes, there are other places across the country. Yes. There's been that. Usually in the northern part and then some parts of Ashanti.
All right. Okay, let me take another break, and when we come, we'll look at the preventive, the keeping our environment clean and the water, the type of mosquitoes that bite, and the medication. Self-medication. My director does it a lot. What we have, the dangers associated with that, and even as head of the family, as a man, what you need to do, and keeping an eye on your family to make sure your family is safe. Again, let me say thank you to Vena Mineral Water. Vena Mineral Water has the balanced pH levels, the right amount of minerals, low in sodium, and they engage in charitable projects, sharing love, and of course changing lives. They produce a Bigo as well. We are grateful to them. Juice Time 100% fruit juices from the farm to the factory, to the bottle, to the shelf. They do it themselves. We are grateful to them. Thank you to House of Food, Auntie Vera and the team. We are ever so grateful. Again, thank you to Mrs. Oforipoko and the family. Thank you. And let me take this opportunity to make the appeal to you out there. 2 years ago, I held the first ever a day in the life of 100 pregnant women. It was held at Edumasa, and we had 100 women coming from about 10 communities. This year in September, and the date is 9th September. 9th September, because there's the 9th month and the 9th day. We are going to the central region. Please support us. We need diapers, we need wipes, we need baby clothes, we need soap, we need detergent, we want to give them one hot meal. We need catering services to come on board to support us to do this, to make we are targeting 150 because the standpoint is 15 years. So the number for 150 pregnant women. You and I know that we'll definitely get more than that when we get to the central region. We are going to a village in the central region. So please call 0543-618182 or 020-886-1919. Wherever you are in this world, please help us to save the lives of pregnant women in Ghana. The National Malaria Elimination Program will also give us insecticide mosquito nets. They haven't promised, but I'm committing them on the program because the focal person is here. And then
we'll really give you.
You will give me. Thank you very much. And so we need drinks. I know Vena Mineral Water and Bigo Drinks will also give us water. I'm committing them as well. So please, we need donate. The Momo, we have 0543-618182. If you want to send money if you're a catering company and you want to support us, we want to give them hot meal, jollof, chicken, a piece of chicken or two, and then an egg. Something that will make them remember that when they were pregnant with this child, they had a happy day. So please, the diapers, the wipes, the baby clothes, please send it to us and we'll be too happy. Remember, the date is on the 9th of September, 2023. If you want to accompany us to go and do it too, you are more than welcome. If you want to partner us too, you are more than welcome. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to that. We'll be back.
The Standpoint. The Standpoint.
And welcome back to The Standpoint. And I've been having a chat with Dr. Paul Boateng, who's the focal person for National Malaria Elimination program here in Ghana, and we are looking at the role that the men can play in supporting, in making sure that we eliminate malaria from Ghana, attaining zero malaria. It is possible, it's achievable. It's good to know that the numbers have gone down tremendously, but we still have a lot. Losing one person or one child to malaria is still, not the best.
Yeah, we shouldn't be losing children, anyone in this day and age due to malaria.
Exactly. So let's look at the preventive measures. Okay, we've looked at the sleeping under insecticide mosquito nets. We look at the environment as well, and then the role the men can play, the head of the families, which they love to hear.
So it's been realized that when the males are involved in malaria prevention, it kind of rolls or scales down to everyone within the family, and mainly because they are the head of the family. And most of the time because they more like are the breadwinners, and so once they commit financial resources to any intervention, you realize that it is easy for the other family members to move along as well. So for instance, this is very typical or has been much proven in antenatal clinic or maternal care. And now there's this initiative to make sure that men are involved in antenatal clinics. And we found that it improves women attending antenatal clinics. It improves the they are delivering at a safe delivery place, and also it improves safe pregnancy outcomes. The same has been found with malaria. They've been realized that where the male supports the woman, you realize that pregnant women will be able to take their intermittent preventive treatment of malaria in pregnancy, that's SP. You realize that where the male supports the woman, uptake of SP increases in pregnant women. So it's been realized that families where the male accepts insecticide-treated nets, it also rolls across all the family members.
Because when it's sometimes when the women take it home, it's the men who use it as fence for their farms, for their their chicken coops, and it's the men who use it.
I think that once we educate them about the need to stop using it for these other users, I believe that they will stop that, and then also make sure they sleep under.
So basically it will be or have to be attitudinal change, and then the mindset as well, because this is still the male involvement in healthcare is really terrible. Really terrible.
I think we also have to dispel the notion that it's a woman's job. And sometimes a feeling that if they are doing that, they are being dominated by the women. I think that has to change, and it's improving, as I indicated, that where males are involved, usually the health of the family improves. So on the other preventive interventions, we also have what we call larval source management. And so basically that one involves, we know that malaria is mainly transmitted through the bite of the infective female Anopheles mosquito, and they usually will breed in collections of water. And so this intervention is to make sure that there are no collections of water where these mosquitoes would breed. And so what it does is that you try and look out for all collections of water where mosquitoes can breed. You make sure that where you have to probably cover the water, you cover it. If you have to, how do you call it, decant it, you do that. And where you have to spray it, we have a safe, environmentally friendly chemicals in code that we use that they can spray. This we do together with Zoomline, and you realize that it kills the larva and the pupa of the mosquito. So you don't wait for it to become a mosquito and be flying around, you'll be having difficulty reaching it, but then you kill them way before they grow up and cause bites and transmit malaria.
So we are still in the process of elimination. And we are still believing and trusting that it's possible.
It's possible. It's very possible.
It's done because we've been able to control it. Because it used to be National Malaria Control Program. Now we are moving to elimination because the control has worked effectively. So we feel that the next step is eliminated, and it is possible. It's possible, yes. Now, what are some of the program lineups? We know we're doing community involvement. We are soliciting support from corporate bodies, and of course, government to commit more funds to this, quote unquote fight. Because it should be one of our prides that Ghana is free from malaria. You know, you come to Ghana and ask for malaria, then it's not possible. But as you're saying, the focus should also be in rural community because it's still there.
Yes.
Education. This year, I'll be going around with Dr. Malm.
Okay.
You know, as the national advocate, we'll be going around, to do the advocacy. I love it when we do the market work.
The market. I was there the last time.
I love it. They ask the right questions. So briefly, let's talk about the medication, self-medication.
Okay.
And men do that a lot.
Well, I can't deny that.
This one is not me hating on men. Self-medication.
Yeah, so it's one of the things that we are advising against.
Yeah, because that's one of the most dangerous.
Yes. The encouragement is that make sure you test before you treat. And so you don't treat malaria when the test result is not positive. And so make sure that you're also receiving treatment from an authorized person who is licensed to provide treatment. And so you don't self-medicate. The reason for advocating for not self-medicating is because sometimes malaria can manifest as a lot of other illnesses. And so sometimes at the early stage, it's very difficult to distinguish malaria from other illnesses. So you realize that sometimes, even in COVID-19, for instance, a lot of people started treating for malaria and later they realized that it was COVID-19. And so because of that similar presentation, like even like typhoid, lysis, and other illnesses, we encourage people to make sure that don't self-medicate, because if you self-medicate, one, you're losing money, you're not receiving treatment. Two is that if you don't take care, the other condition that is causing your illness will be missed. And if you detect it later, it might be too late for it to be treated. Okay, so we make sure that we encourage people not to self-medicate, but seek treatment at appropriate places. So ensure that they are tested first and only treated when they are positive.
Okay. Now I'll give you your last words, but Doc, I want you to handle this. And it's happened to me before, where sometimes you manifest all the symptoms of malaria. You test and they said you're negative. But healthcare providers will tell you that still take malaria. Medication, because sometimes it can hide. Is that a good thing?
No, it's not a good thing. I think that it's a process. Some years back, that was a practice that all fevers were presumed to be malaria. And so you didn't need to test before you treat. And so I think that because of what happened in the past, it's been quite difficult trying to change their attitudes. But with time, as we continue to educate them and train them on the new guidelines, they need to test, treat, and track. We hope that this attitude will change. The reason why we don't have to do that is because, we used to use chloroquine for malaria treatment. And then we came to SP, like Fancida for malaria treatment. Now we don't use those ones anymore. We are now using ACTs. That's a combination of two antimalarials together. And the reason for that presumptive treatment, not testing before treatment, was that now the parasites have developed resistance to chloroquine. They've developed resistance to SP. So you can't use that for treatment anymore. Now we are using ACTs. In some parts of the world, they've started developing some resistance, partial resistance to the ACTs. Now people are talking about triple ACTs. So that's the more reason why we shouldn't self-medicate. We should make sure that we will test and only treat positive cases. In instances where, in quotes, you are saying that the parasite is hiding somewhere, it's not applicable in our setting. Okay, there are, but whatever it is, the diagnostic test that we have will be able to detect malaria if you have
it. So if it's negative, it's negative, and it's time for them to investigate and find out what is really causing the fever.
Yes, so if it's negative, look out for the other possible causes of the patient's illness. And remember, as I said, sometimes we don't focus on that and it becomes too late. Remember also meningitis outbreak some few years back, Bono areas and all that. We're being treated for malaria until later we realized that it was meningitis. So it's something that once you test and the test is negative, look out for other possible causes. The other thing we have to notice is that most of the common causes of fever in our environment are mainly due to viral illnesses, which will self-resolve by itself, like COVID-19. Like most people didn't even need any treatment, it resolved by itself. And so sometimes all you need is supportive care, rest, taking fluids, and then maybe some para if you're having body aches or headache, and just your body should be able to take care of the illness by itself. Yes.
Now your final words.
So my final words are that
to the men.
To the men, we have to be involved in the malaria elimination fight, because without us, this fight won't be possible.
Right.
Because when men are involved, we realize that we're able to carry the others along. We need to also stay alive, be able to take care of our families and all that. Malaria elimination is possible. Let's make sure that we adopt the preventive measures. Sleeping under insecticide-treated nets, where indoor residual spraying is being undertaken. Let's make sure we are doing that. Make sure that you manage the environment very well. Don't have collections of water in cans or tires around, or even in AC buckets and all that. Make sure that all those collections of water, we don't have any breeding places in our house to make sure that mosquitoes breed in those places. So let's make sure that we undertake all the preventive measures. Also, if we happen to have fever, let's make sure we seek care. Let's make sure that we encourage that we are tested before treated. We shouldn't self-medicate. Okay, let's seek treatment early. We shouldn't wait and do all other sorts of treatment before, when it's too late, we are now rushing to the hospital. Let's make sure that we seek treatment early and we avoid self-medication. And make sure that when we are giving the treatments as well, we comply by the treatment regimen. We take the full course, not stop after day 1 or day 2 when we feel better. No, we have to make sure that we complete the treatment course.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Day 2, day 3, you feel better, and that's it. And what's the danger associated with that? So not completing the course.
So the malaria can recur, what we call recrudescence. So the parasite may not be cleared completely. So you may suffer malaria in the next few days. So you may come down with the symptoms. Yes, it probably may even be, yes. And the resistance developments too can also develop. Yes.
Right, thank you so much. I've been talking to Dr. Paul Boateng, who's the National Malaria Elimination Program focal person, and thankfully he's a man. So he's he's giving, the message. So it's clear, elimination, that's okay. For us, we need to prevent the malaria. And when you have the symptoms, you need to test it. Yeah. And when you test it and you're positive, make sure you take your medication. And when you're taking the medication, make sure you complete the course. Sleep under insecticide mosquito nets. Accompany the women when they are going for antenatal. And then, of course, be the head of the family in every sense of the word. Get involved. Get resources involved. Get your attention involved. Get your children and your wives and your household health. Make it a priority so we can eliminate malaria from Ghana as soon as possible. Thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you so much.
I'll be back with a bit of me.
The Standpoint.
Dear men, this is a love letter from me to you. Health is life. What you do not know will kill you. As part of your role as being head of the family, your family's health should be paramount. We are pleading with you. Get involved in matters of health. Take it seriously. Malaria is still killing, not just children under 5 years. It's killing pregnant women. It's killing women after they give birth. It's killing men. It's robbing men of their resources. It's robbing women of their resources. Malaria is more dangerous than we think it is. Let us not get comfortable. Things are changing. 21st century man, it's a man who knows what's up. 21st century man, it's a man who matters, who cares, who knows that it is important to protect everything and everybody dear to him and his heart. So let's join the fight. Let's join the campaign to eliminate malaria from Ghana. We heard today, can affect every part of your body, your brain, your lungs, your heart, your kidney. And yes, it can make you sexually impotent for a short while because you will not be able to do what you love to do when you are down with malaria and when your wife is down with malaria. So please join the fight. It is possible. I remain a woman with super crazy faith in God. I know everything is possible with God, but I also know that He's given us wisdom. So if we know we have to sleep under insecticide mosquito net, let's sleep and not just pray it away. If we know we need to keep our environment clean, let's do it and not pray it away. If we know we have to go to the hospital and check for malaria or a certified lab to check for malaria, let's do it and not just pray it away. If we know we need to take the medication to treat malaria, let's take it and not just pray it away. Let's save our families, let's save our children, let's save our lives, and let's keep malaria away from Ghana. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.